Welcome back as we continue to explore the idea of vision. And I've got a fellow road tripper here in Pastor Jerry Ingles.
It's great to be here, Dan.
It's good to be here with you. I'm glad to have you here on this particular episode because when we're working with congregations, we often talk about a beyond the horizon vision for the future. I want congregations to plan 30, 40 years generationally.
Absolutely.
And a lot of pushback is like, we don't even know what's going to happen next year. How can we look 30, 40 years in the future? And the reality is, if you don't have a vision that big to go and pursue, figure out who God is calling me to be in this community and live into that, well, then we're looking a little bit short-sighted as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
And so as I think about road trips, I think about the classic Route 66, right? From Chicago all the way to LA. And I know that we've spent a little bit of time at the far end of that together. My family and I, we were just in Williams, Arizona, was the last town bypassed when they put the highway in from Route 66. Yeah, it's a crazy, beautiful place. You should go there, take your family sometime. But just thinking about this beyond the horizon view of the future, Paul encourages us in Philippians chapter 1 that he wants us to stand firm in one spirit and with one mind, striving side by side for the faith of the gospel, the idea that we have a singular purpose, a singular destination that we're working towards. When we're working with congregations, we want them to think beyond themselves. And what we really try to focus them on is what we call a biblical blue sky vision of the future, where we will, over the course of our time together, we're going to pick either a Bible passage, a Bible person, or we will ask them to pick a parable that they are going to live into, that's going to stretch them beyond what they think they are capable of.
Okay.
And you're a guy of diverse talents and abilities and experiences. You've done a lot of things that a lot of people couldn't even imagine. So just if you could share with us maybe a story of something you did that really pushed you beyond your horizon, beyond your limit, and what that felt like to get to that destination that you'd maybe didn't even know you were going to get to.
Yeah. You know, one example that comes to my mind when I think about that question is when COVID-19 happened and a lot of people started just having a difficult time. The churches didn't know how to respond. One of the ways that I anchored our congregation in faithful daily living is I started working on a daily devotional. And every single day at 10 in the morning, I would call the congregation and give them a fresh word from the Bible. And I started Matthew 1, just a few days after that first Sunday experience in March of 2020. And what I didn't realize is this was going to take 4.5 years to work through the whole Bible to end up creating what would be my Seize the Moment Bible devotional series.
And how many books is that now, Jerry?
It's a 4-book series that covers all 1,189 chapters of the Bible. And that story comes to my mind because, you know, it was all about daily process. It was about helping the congregation to be healthy in a time when people didn't know what the future is going to be. And so we gave them a vision that God is a God of hope, that God is bigger than our circumstances, and that we need to stay focused on the fact that through every single day of this crisis, God is conforming us into his character. And then for me personally, it became a wonderful opportunity and challenge to work through the entire Bible. But it took me longer to write that series, even though I was writing 5 to 6 days a week every day for 4.5 years. It took me longer to finish that series of books than it did to graduate from West Point.
Wow.
And it was
That's a perspective, isn't it?
It was an intense journey.
Yeah.
And so sometimes as we look at the crisis of the moment and we think, how am I going to survive today? Having that large goal, having that large vision allows us to be faithful and consistent each and every day.
And in something, it's human nature. I don't think that we often think this way, but oftentimes we as individuals, and I would say even congregations, limit God to what they think they can do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when we do that, like, we're not leaving God any room to work. But when we have that God-sized vision, that beyond the horizon, biblical blue sky vision of the future, we're giving him room to work in our congregations, in our families, in our lives. And so that was really cool to think that this little project that kind of started out of just a need,
A congregational crisis.
that took you longer than graduating from West Point. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Jerry.
You're welcome, Dad.
Appreciate it.